back to the From Harvey with Love podcast. I am your host, Harvey World Drizzy. And today we got us a special one of sorts. There's been some beef in the Manosphere here lately. So we gonna cover that. That beef has been mainly between, I guess, what you would call SYSBM and SYCBM, I'm guessing. The two movements. So this is From Harvey with Love, and it's called that for a reason. I'm from Harvey, and everything I do is with love. So in that energy, I'm a fan of almost everybody involved, right? I'm either subscribed or whatever to each of the channels involved, and I understand where the drama comes from. I understand where the drama comes from. I don't agree with it. What I believe is that it's two different missions, and they don't have to be at odds. And so, with that being said, I owe the Passport Bros an apology. You know, I've been spending these last few months since I first heard of these guys, really looking into it, being equated with the ethos of the movement or whatever, and I don't agree. I'm not I'm still not a Passport Bro. Well, of course I'm not. I'm married, so there you have it. Yeah, and I still don't agree. Even if I wasn't married, I wouldn't be advocating for men leaving. But I understand why they do, and I respect their decision to be able to. I'm not trying to steal their ass back either. I mean, I've divested from the term telling them that they running away. I won't say that, because in many ways they're going over there and they're still looking for black women. Some of them are going over there and staying, but it's the pushback that they get from both women and the super simps that just to me, I totally understand why it will make you want to dig in more, because their points don't make sense many times. But what we're gonna do is first I'm gonna get into a TikTok, and she's one of the main reasons that I owe to SYSBM. It's women like this. This is why I owe them an apology. This is why I apologize. I'm sorry, brothers, because if you want to cross the pond to get away from this, I don't blame you. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Without further ado, we just go.
I have been in the wormhole, y'all.
I'm gonna try not to stop her too much, because she hard on the eyes. But we gonna break it down piece by piece as she get into this opinion of hers.
Of the men who said they're going out of the country to find a wife. Number one, they act like we care.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. See, this is the issue. Bonnet on, overweight, face and chest acne, bell pepper nose, teeth like a graveyard. They don't give a fuck what you do, ma'am. You are the reason they're leaving. And a funky ass attitude. Her attitude, like, you got to pick a struggle. It's very simple. You can't be big, unattractive, with a nasty attitude. You're going to have to pick one. But it gets worse.
Number two, it shows that how they are mentally. They're no different than people who see black people as just being criminals or whatever, because most of the time that's what the media is showing you. So in their eyes, Women don't want um,
Strike two. Now she didn't liken her being fat and dusty with being black.
everybody has their type. I have my type. Those men have their type. I think the problem is that they're mad that nobody is choosing them. We're not choosing them.
We're not choosing them. Like, ma'am, you don't qualify. You don't qualify. They're not worried about you. You're the reason they're leaving because they're saying that there's lack of selection. If you are what is there to select for, to be picked, I would leave too. If I was single and I looked around, it was a bunch of yous. It was a bunch of these. I get the fuck out of Dodge too.
We're going after what and who we want, and they don't like that. I feel like,
Ma'am, they don't.
especially when you get to a certain age, especially like my age, I'm 40, I don't have kids. So automatically people would think that something's wrong with me.
What do you Something's wrong with you, ma'am. Look at you. You hopped on here with this fucking bonnet on, and I ain't gonna lie. I went on a TikTok. More of the same. More of the same. So you have a woman like this, big as hell, facially challenged. Nothing good. She ain't got pretty skin. I can't even tell if she got good hair because she got a bonnet on. Right now, she has nothing. I'm talking 0 of 10. Would not recommend. A woman who's done no work because God didn't give you fat. You earned fat. You did the work for that. It's unattractive to most men. And there are some big Lizzo lovers. I ain't going to hold you. They exist. High value Lizzo lovers exist, but
And especially if you are in your late 30s, 40s, with kids, they just tell you, just get what you can get. And because we're not choosing them, it makes them feel.
For the record, just get what you can get is not my message. I can't speak for everybody, but my message has never been that's never been my message is do the work to qualify for the better man. Understand that you can make a grand life, a great life, a life worth living with a regular man. Women have been the muse for most great men. For most great men. And you can very well be the muse for a regular guy to turn him. You could be. Or maybe all he needs is support. But we caught up in social media and the rappers and the reality TV shows and told y'all what love was. And you trying to and the relationship goes. What we need to understand is that each relationship is its own thing. It's its own universe. Stop trying to mimic yours off of somebody else's. It's just you and that one other person. But for these,
Type of way. And the thing about it with women, if you go and get you a wife from another country, you bring her back, please understand that her vendetta is to have a better life for herself. She's going to stay with you a couple of years. But please understand, she probably got a man in that other country. And it's understood. Go to America. Stay with this man as much as you can. Divorce him. Take him for all he has. And she'll go back to her country. And she.
Women got a very, very, it's the imagination of them. She made that whole scenario up. She don't know no woman from overseas. She's probably not even well traveled her damn self. She made that whole shit up in her head to shame a man behind a story made up in her head. And that made sense to her. That's the dangerous part when dealing with these dusties. She made that shit up in her head like we give a fuck. Look, lady, that's obviously not what they're that's not what's going on with them. They going over there and they're saying they're being treated better. Now I still have my reservations on they treatment my damn self. But like I said, I respect their right to do so. They want to go across there and do whatever because we know what a lot of them doing. They gonna leave the part out where they paid. They gonna leave the part out where about the 150 baht they spent to get that soapy. That treatment was paid for. Came in a package. They're not gonna tell you about that. They're not, but that's what's going on. Maybe not all. Some of them might be going over there actually looking for love, but I just find it hard to believe when most of you don't even speak the language. You know what you're going over there to do. But hey, that's up to you. And to be honest, culturally, those women are going to be more submissive naturally because they were raised that way. So the passport bros, they not telling all bullshit. And me as a well-traveled guy myself, I've been over there. So it's not like I'm just speaking out of my ass. I'm not a guy that ain't never been over there and ain't never seen. I've been almost everywhere. Australia, Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand, fucking Dubai. We've been all over there. I've been all over there. It's some form or another. So what I'm saying is I understand the femininity. They use it. They more lethal with their use over there. Our women over here, they don't use it as much no more. We got a microwave dating thing. We just kind of fucking out here. If we keeping it a bean. That's really what's just going on. We fucking and getting mad. We just fuck long enough till one of them get the maddest and they break it off, or they cheat, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, I don't need to see no more of her anyway. Yeah, you're right. I don't need to see no more of her. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump back into some vocabulary. So the word of the week seemed to be word salad. And I've came to understand word salad is basically a bunch of frivolous bullshit, a bunch of words that's garbled up. A lot of times it's kind of the best example of a word salad connoisseur to me is T.I. You know, the motherfuckers that seem like they just broke the thesaurus out and they pick the most difficult words and then they say a bunch of regular shit, but they say it in the most challenging way. And then they try to make it seem like you're not intelligent if you don't catch it. Yeah, Hafiz, my brother here. Hafiz has been known to do that shit. But I was actually surprised to see the word pinned to my brother Alan Obi over at the We Need to Talk podcast. And it's because, like I said, when I said earlier, I'm a fan of almost everybody. The almost part was Hafiz. I've never been a fan of the roommates. They've had some powerful interviews. They had one with AMS. They had one with Candace Owens that I like. They even had late great brothers Kevin Samuels on. So like, no, they've done powerful work. I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, that's sue me. You know, I don't subscribe to it. He used to seem very, very red pill. I mean, like I said, I wasn't deep engrossed into his content to ever know whether he was, but I guess assumed, and that's what I get maybe for assuming. But he is he is clearly not red pill anymore if he ever was. And so he claims that he never was, as a matter of fact. So I'm gonna take him at his word. You know, I'm not in the business of calling a man a liar. But he went on he went on a podcast and he was demolished by Coach Greg Adams. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, he went and did Just Pearly Things, which should have been a lighthearted, easy interview. Easy, but he decided to turn it into a clippable situation. Man, he went in there guns a-blazing and made an absolute ass of himself for the second time. So just when you thought it couldn't get bad, it got worse. And then he made an apology that wasn't an apology. It was just more the word salad. As the people say, he is actually one of the ones that use a whole bunch of words for no reason. Now, when it was pent on our brother, a good brother Alan Obi, it was by Chantel Simone, or maybe it was Jessica X, one of the two. I just found, so I did know about Chantel Simone prior. Um, just recently though, I did just recently come in contact with her content, but I've been following it, and I have no qualms. It's good content from what I see most of the time. I get where Alan is coming from with what he's trying to say, and I can also pinpoint where the conversation goes left. But as far as her mission is, I'm gonna say this: there are a lot of women in the quote unquote manosphere. And I see right through the bullshit. We see y'all. You just regurgitating shit that's already been said, and some people call them pygmies. They calling each other chameleons. I don't know which is which at the end of the day, because it's all the same shit. But my thing is, like, it's entertaining. I'm not here to judge anybody. That is not my. That's not what I do. Why they do it? Just Pearly Things has been called into question. Her motive behind what she does, and they say that it's uh she's doing it maybe for money, and it's America. It's a capitalist society, so I would hope she would be doing it to be trying to get paid. I mean, I'm not gonna knock her hustle. She might be appropriating culture, all of the shit that they want to pin to her or whatever. At the end of the day, um, she's out working a lot of guys. She's out working a lot of people. I mean, hard work just talks. I mean, um, I'm gonna say this. I was in the military for 11 years. Some of the closest guys to me, white guys, some shit hit the fan, I could sleep on their couch for sure. No questions asked. I'm good. So in that light, I understand, and I've been in the shit with these guys. So they've tried and tested. They've proven this ain't no bullshit. They've proven to me that they are worth this. You understand? And these ain't guys I talk to every day. We don't speak every day, but we family. You see what I'm saying? So in that same light, I can understand how I, I put it on. If something was going on with me in my life, they absolutely would care. So with Pearly, I actually believe she dates black guys. That's a rumor. Maybe I'm sorry if that's not true, but what the chat niggas is saying is that that's where that is. And so call it what you want. She got a dog in the fight if she do. She got a dog in the fight. But either way, I'm not here. I'm just gonna say that and like I'm saying, I'm not even a devout Pearly fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on what she got going on. I peek my head over there here and there, but it's not no go to to me. I get it. She blew up in the manosphere. They see 500,000 subscribers, and it's all of these other powerful names that's been doing this shit for a long time. I'm talking about guys with degrees, with accolades behind them. Dr. T.S. Johnson, those type of guys that's been really putting the work in. Even guys like O'Shea Duke Jackson behind the scenes, many people don't know that a lot of people come up through O'Shea. You got to see O'Shea before you come over, at least in the black manosphere. You know, the Obsidian. These guys have been, they've been boots on the ground, and Pearly blowing up that fast. I guess they could see it as maybe a slap in the face. I'm here to say, as long as she's not going against the grain, she's on our side. I'm not for turning around no help. You know what I'm saying? So if and the same thing with Chantel, my bad. The same thing with Chantel. So yeah, they might you can accuse her of being a pygmy and an opportunist, right? But at the same time, I've been asking women to speak to women. She said that's what she's doing. We'll get into that. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna see Hafiz's depiction of word salad. How 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 he does word salad. And so, like, understand this. Pearly was a fan of Hafiz. She goes into this thinking that it's a friendly interview. You know, he was at least I thought, just like Pearly thought, he was a red pill content creator. However, I guess he was not. And so he's gonna come in guns a blazing, and you're gonna see why I am not a fan of said character. So without further ado,
laws should change. So I understand the mindset of we were walking away until the laws change. It's kind of like a protest.
Sure.
You don't understand that?
Sure. Like, let's be honest. Let's stop playing this game. What kind of men are walking away? What kind of men are walking away? Is it really the men that women want, the really attractive, handsome, successful men that are walking away? Or is that really what's going on? Or is it the 23-year-old virgin who
Passport Bros, y'all see, this is why I apologize. Y'all don't deserve this. Y'all don't deserve this beratement. What do he sound like though? He sound like the fat homie from earlier. He sound like the fat bonnet where that's what he sounds like right now. He came on here guns a-blazing. He had a clear agenda. Don't know what the fuck it was. He showed up in his janky promoter suit. You know what I'm saying? Teal. Looking a fool. And then he attacks this woman when she just trying to have a good time in Dallas.
can't have any sex. You say, I'm walking away from women. They walked away from you first. So my biggest thing with some of this protesting is who's protesting? Because it's so funny because what happens is you have all these guys on the internet saying, I don't do relationships. And I know them in person and they have girlfriends. They have wives on the side. They don't tell people these things. No one's walking away but the foolish kids who are watching this content online. Those guys are not walking away. You think they're living without women? You think they don't have a relationship? You think they don't have any kids?
No,
Come on. Stop playing this game.
I said walking away from no games. No game.
Not you. Not you.
No, so I know I'm saying like they're walking away from marriage. And you can see.
And then he kept playing this little pretentious, not you, Pearly, or oh, I loved that before, and trying to make it seem like he was in good faith when really the best thing he could have did, if I can give him any advice, because your apology was ass, Hafiz. I'm gonna tell you, I watched that shit too. That shit was ass. Don't nobody want to hear you. It was ass. Like, go into it with good faith. Like, she killed you with kindness by just sitting there. She gave you the facts, and you could, but you just made a fool of yourself with the aggression for no reason. First of all, you talking to a woman. I'm sorry, man. Understand there is a reason why you can see a man doing a certain type of thing, and we label it as we label very specifically bitch shit. We all know what it is when we see it. When we see it, a man arguing passionately with a woman, especially a woman that is not his, bitch shit. When do you get to do that? You sitting there, you arguing this passionately with a woman who you have no authority over in the first place. This shouldn't even be that type of conversation. It really shouldn't. The conversation should have been the way Pearly suspected it to be. It's y'all pretty much colleagues at this time. She damn near didn't caught you in subscribers. Maybe that's put a bite in his stomach. I don't know what it was, but he clearly had an agenda. He had an issue, and he came on here for the smoke where there was no smoke. And because everybody can see that there was no smoke, that's what made him look like the ass.
And you can see that because the marriage rates are lower than lower. 50% of women that hit 30 are single and childless.
So
I would.
Who's walking away? Are the billionaires walking away from marriage? Are the heiresses walking away from marriage?
The first person that comes into my head is Leonardo DiCaprio. That man is not married.
What about George Clooney?
George Clooney.
Come on, we can go.
I'm not a big movie person. I just think
George Clooney's a big star like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's the
Leonardo's.
What is he in? Top something?
He's in.
Is that him?
No, that's Tom Cruise. That's in Top Gun.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disingenuous. I'm just really not a movie person.
My point is, show me who's walking away. Stop playing these games. Women don't care about those guys who are walking away. Go.
Women don't care about those guys who are walking away.
X253. They don't care about him walking away.
I think Austin Holloman kind of proved that theory to be false, right? Because he a 23-year-old young guy who had the funds to be able to go parlay overseas. That's not a cheap deal. First and foremost, that's not a cheap deal. He's a handsome guy. One would like to believe that women would have actually wanted that guy, right? And so He went over there. He didn't have. I'm pretty sure he had. It's not hard out here. If you know what I'm talking about, it's not hard, especially if you look like something and you or just be over 6 foot and you're pretty much good to go out of here. And they say that they don't date broke guys, but that's false. Their baby daddies tend to be broke.
The average.
Come on, man. Those guys they will get married. The Rock is married.
Yeah.
LeBron James is married.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is married. Stop playing these games. They don't care about those guys. You're not protesting. You think it's like that fat girl who's like, we're having a sex protest. The 300-pound beluga whales are having a sex protest.
Facts.
And all of a sudden the men are going to behave themselves. Yeah, right. No one cares about you protesting. Stop playing.
It's interesting. I know I've just met a lot of guys through the show that have said like, that they want, and I know you'll say maybe they're capping, I don't know, but they don't want to get married at least legally, and I understand that. Like if you wouldn't want to get married,
the law
legally,
do not help you.
Let me tell you about those guys. There was a time in the day where there's a bunch of feminists. They were in their early 20s, and they would say we're not having any kids. The world's overpopulated. Oh, marriage is this. We're not having any children. This, that, and the
you think they're the exact equivalent?
100% the exact equivalent. And all of a sudden, 35 years old, you knock on that girl's door. Hey, Susie. Oh, what's back there? Oh, Afis, those are my kids. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 kids? What happened to that feminist stuff when the world's overpopulated and second and third? Man, I was 20 years old, Afis. You know, it was just, I was in college. I
didn't have enough of Afis. I didn't have enough of Afis. And so, as you can see, that was him embarrassing stuff. And let me tell you, I'll leave the link to the full interview. It's long. But let me tell you, this was like not even close to the most embarrassing part. Hafiz made an absolute ass of himself on that show in front of that nice lady. And I don't know why he decided to do that, but that's what he decided to do. And so what we're going to get into next is our good brother Alan Nobi of the We Need to Talk show channel. He was on Chantel Simone's. He pulled up on Chantel Simone. And I'm gonna skip straight to the end where it gets a little dicey, and we're gonna see if we can't see where this went awry. But let's see, get this.
As possible with all the mistakes I made when I was younger. Luckily, I did not have kids out of wedlock, so that's the only thing I talk about that I did not personally go through. So you're telling me,
and I like Chantel Simone. She admits that she probably won't get married. I think if she tries, she should be good. The fact that she don't have kids, I think she is early 30s, I believe. She's in good shape. She does fitness. She seems feminine to me for the most part. I mean, she has some combative ways about her, but she's Jamaican, I believe, and she's black, so that kind of comes with the territory. I'm not gonna knock her for that. But she says that she wants to speak to women. Alan's issue is if you want to speak to women, then you make content for women, and that's where we are.
That even though I'm being as transparent as possible, so hopefully if it's only one girl, shout out to you, Chelsea. I see you.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
Example.
Because when I was looking at your page, I didn't see transparency. I just saw, look at what these women are doing.
Example of what? What are you asking for an example?
No, an example of you being transparent and you reaching the audience that you want to reach.
I just said that I've got my master's degree and it's a useless degree and now I'm paying student loans for it. So I want to go back to my question. So you're telling me that in me being as transparent as possible, let's use the master's degree example and say, hey, young girls, I remember Kevin Samuels had a call and she had $200,000 in student loan debt. And he asked her, do you want to work to pay significant bills after pregnancy? And she said no. So, wait, I'm sorry. I got distracted. Miss Crimson Cure wants to come up. I can't drop the link because I have to leave in 15 minutes. I wish Miss Crimson Cure could come up. So you mean to tell me that even though I'm telling these young girls to do not get student loan debt for a useless degree, all of that is invalid just because you believe that I am pandering to men?
No, what I'm saying, it's invalid because your audience is not full of young girls. It's
But
full
wait,
of 40-year-old
let me
men.
even if one girl, you heard the point when I say even if it
Hmm.
impacts
I
one girl,
can
right?
impact.
I'm
Hmm.
not trying to change the message. I think you're coming from a place where you're trying to save the community, you're trying to
Hmm.
save the masses. I'm all for
Hmm.
individual, work on your individual self, take accountability and meet somebody who's also working on their
Hmm.
individual self and focus on your family, right? You're trying to change the masses, that will give you a lot of gray hairs, that will stress you out. I'm not trying
Hmm.
to change the masses. So you're telling me that if my impact is just one girl, right? I'm just trying to focus on changing one girl. Shout out to Brenda. I want to say Brenda is in her 20s, right? So
Hmm.
thank you so much for being a channel member, sis. If my intention is every day I'm going to wake up and make videos so Brenda can learn and Brenda can not repeat my mistakes, and
Hmm.
Brenda, we're not talking about the 4,000, the 39,999 men that's watching. I'm talking about the one Brenda. Brenda is my only
Sure.
female subscriber. You are
Hmm.
telling me that it's my effort is not valid because it's only one Brenda watching and 39,000 men? Like logically, does that
But
make sense to you?
when your last video, I mean, when your last 4 videos are about save yourself, black men, it tells me you're not trying to talk to Brenda. It's not about Brenda, and
But
you're using that to scapegoat like the responsibility that you have because you're
no, wait,
saying,
before
well,
you,
because I can hit one, Fresh and Fit can hit one black girl. That means nothing.
Alan, yeah, I know you're talking about. I use my channel to do multiple things, as I said earlier, right?
She's doing what women do. No offense, Chantel Simone, but this is what women do. They they change it to something subjective. So the subjective part is Brenda. The one girl. If I reach this one girl, then it's all worth it. You don't give a fuck about that, lady. You understand what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? Like the point is hard, and he makes it kind of hard to swallow because later on he's gonna call her an opportunist. These are trigger words. They're trigger words, just like submission to a dusty. You say submission, they say slavery. You say opportunist, and it's dark. Even if that's what it is, like, because I'm gonna tell you this, just like I give the grace to Pearly, I'm definitely gonna get a grace to my Nubian sister to jump in here and get the bag if it's open for her. So I'm not even telling you how to do, because I used to get pissed off at people telling Kevin how to run his show. His tack is bad. He should say it this way. He should say it however in the fuck he wants to say it. It's his show. That shit was the Kevin Samuels show. It said KS on the bottom of the stream. The same way this one is Chantel Simone's. And she's not breaking any laws by running this page. She's not going against any of the guidelines on YouTube. So who the fuck am I, to tell her? But in that same breath, you must understand that you are talking to men. You make content for men, and that's why you are talking to men. Yes, there may be a few on the side of 8 to 10,000 that you say you have of women that are going to consume the content, and they may be better for it, and that is a win. But make no mistake, you are intentionally speaking to men, ma'am. There's no doubt about it. Why do you think I was already subscribed? You were speaking to me. I fucks with the content. That's why it's hard not to sound like a hater. Like I'm saying, this is all in love. I don't mean, and then like I matter any fucking way. I got 340 subscribers. You'll get over it. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, like, look, we get it, but keep it a bean, shorty. You get it too. You get it. You get what he's saying. You look at your channel, it's done on purpose. Just like she tries to go in, like, oh, I make it as pink and as purple as I purposely can. Purple is the color of royalty. God damn it, that ain't a female color.
But you said it was
If
one
we're
black girl. That's
if
the
we're
main thing you're
focusing, no,
trying to do.
no, no, no. Listen, I just said that I use my channel to advocate for men. I use my channel to be as transparent as possible. I use my channel to do multiple
need the
things. We're
advocacy.
talking
We
about
appreciate it.
one aspect to be as transparent as possible. If we want to talk about the advocating for men, we can hop over and talk about that. But in the being transparent as possible, I'm saying I'm influencing Brenda, the one girl. Is that not valid? Is Brenda
What
not valid?
Of course, it's
let
valid.
me reiterate what I'm saying. If I was having this conversation with Fresh and Fit, they can use that same talking point because they can say rightfully, and they've got more numbers than both of us combined, that yeah, even though we're talking about all these things, we still hit 12,000 women. So I can, if I'm just hitting one woman, boom, boom, boom. But what I'm saying to you is, when you say you're trying, you wake up every day and you're trying to hit one black girl, but you've woken up for the past 2 weeks and talking to passport bros.
You
It's
gotta understand.
bullshit. And again, like if I was somebody who didn't deal with women on a daily basis and do work with women, I wouldn't be able to see the difference. But again, what I'm seeing with you is you're an opportunist. You're
Okay.
using the possibility of hitting one black girl as like a means for you to deny responsibility. But again,
What
if
I
that's true, I want to see your next few.
Opportunists and deny responsibility. Hey, you get the whole mood. She ain't feeling it, and I get why she wouldn't be. And this is the thing. This is where I gotta give Alan some pushback because he's a great communicator. This is the thing. I always say that he has far more patience in these type of situations than I ever could have. In his interviews, he has so I know. And he knows that he could have encoded that message in a way that wouldn't have did this to her. Because she was but the thing is, she was already kind of feisty, and it was, and she brings that even her relationship with Courtney and Michelle, it's aggressive. It's aggressive. It's in an aggressive manner. So she can't really expect. Energies clash, and like the brother here is Nigerian. Not to give him no excuse, but you know how those motherfuckers get, man. And so he hit her with some of the slick tongue, and that really is what I believe changes the situation, changes the conversation. But at the end of the day, it wasn't in good faith anyway. I'll leave a link to his. He had a pretty much a smoke show where people got to pull up and air their grievances on them and he handled them all. He explained even this. He would probably even regret doing this interview because kind of like with the Just Pearly Things and Hafiz interview, like if Pearly would have known Hafiz was coming with that type of fucking smoke and vitriol, it wasn't even really worth the interview. I take that back. It was definitely worth the interview because it's content. But as far as trying to have a real genuine conversation, it wasn't worth it. And like this right here wasn't for content. It's not like he went on there for a beef show to get a bunch of clicks and no shit like that. And I don't believe that's what Chantel had in mind either. But that's how it read. That's how it played out. It played out like beef. It played out like my brother and my sister arguing. It's some shit that we don't need. It's not productive. It's not productive. It might be funny. You might have, the chat niggas, and the chat rats, they gonna be down there, having a very old time. Like I even watched my boy Thon Lexi over at the Black Light Podcast. I was even watching his stream one day on it, and even and he was going over the whole situation that they having or whatever, and giving his take. And I'm just in the comments, and I can't believe the amount of hate that was being thrown at Alan, and it's from your own brothers. That's the shit that blows me. It's like I'm sick of hearing dweeb shit like, "Oh, you African, what you worried about these problems?" Hey, we all black. This stupid. Like, see, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not everybody has these different names. They either Pan-Africanist or they or they Hoteps or whatever the fuck they want to be. I'm for black people, period. I don't give a fuck where you from on the planet. I don't need a name for that shit. I don't really care. I'm not following no one man's teachings. I read all of the good literature on the good guys of past and present that are doing the good work, and I take those theories, those benchmarks, those lessons, and I try to apply them in my life, and I try, to educate my brothers when I can, my sisters when I can, with the things that I've known, I found out. But as far as following any ideology, I don't follow anything wholeheartedly because man is too heavily involved. The God I serve is in me, and so what I do is I reach inward for the shit that I need, and I put out. I'm not gonna be right about everything. I'm not gonna be right about everything. I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna be wrong a lot. Like I always say, I'm gonna make it right. I'm gonna make it right. Everything that I do, I'll do in good faith, and I'll make it right. That's what we need in our community. We don't need to be split up anymore. We don't need to be split up by, oh, you from Jamaica, you not American. You from Africa, you not American. You from here, you from this, you from that, or whatever the fuck. Black is black. When they look at us, when they the outside, the majority, when they see niggas, they don't give a fuck where you from. They don't care, and we look stupid worrying about it. We look dumb worrying about it. Like I get we all have our flaws. None of us are perfect, and so they'll come up with an excuse. So Kevin Samuels wasn't married or was twice divorced. So you can't keep a bitch. How you gonna tell us? Right? So he wasn't the one. Even never mind the fact that he was in his mid-50s and he had seen a thing or two. Never mind that fact. The fact of the matter is he wasn't married. But look, I'm married. Been married for 16 years. But the argument here will be, okay, nigga, you know that one chick. You know one chick. You ain't in the dating world. What the fuck do you know about the dating world? Okay, so you can't say it. So then you get Chantel Simone, single, black woman in the dating world. She can't tell you because you can't even get a man your motherfucking self. You got Courtney Michelle who can't tell you. You a baby mama. You got Alan can't tell you. He a baby daddy. Look, you got to deal with the fucking people you got, man. At the end of the day, you got to understand, hey, eat the meat and spit out the bone. If you don't have to agree with everything. Sometimes you could agree to disagree. And sometimes it's best for you to just shut your ass up and leave it alone. Like, for instance, say if I went over on Alan on We Need to Talk's channel and then he had a whole bunch of shit on there that I didn't agree with, right? But he's not harming nobody and he's actually helping the people. You know what I would do? I would unsubscribe from over there and mind my fucking business and leave it alone. He don't need my vitriol, my bullshit in his comment section. Chantel don't need my bullshit in their comment section. That's just not what you need to do. And that's not what's going to help us in the long run. That's not what we need. I'm gonna let them go on a little bit longer. I think it's
videos be about other mistakes that you
No,
made while you're unmarried and all those things.
I think my next few videos will still be about passport bros and advocating for men. Because I said earlier, I use my channel to advocate for men, to call out bitter bras, to expose bitter bras, and to encourage young girls to not repeat my mistakes. A YouTube channel can do multiple things. On my fitness channel, I talk about nutrition and working out. If we're going to have this conversation on my fitness channel and you're going to have a problem with the fact that, oh, you're working out in this video, but you're talking about nutrition in this video and you're doing something else in this video. It's like, you claim that you've been doing this for years.
You're missing my point.
Yeah, she's making a bullshit point.
If we were talking about your fitness channel and you're saying, I want to get more black women in shape because I care about black women and the obesity crisis is what it is, and I'm catering workouts that black women are going to more easily gravitate to and things like that, I'd say absolutely that is in line with what you're saying. However, in this, you're saying, number one, you're advocating for men, which again, you're not adding anything new to the conversation. You're just another woman saying things that men have been saying for years. Number two, you're saying that you're trying to reach women, even though you're doing videos regurgitating male talking points that have nothing to do with women. How does a video about Courtney Michelle crying or the passport bros valid questions, how does that reach that 25-year-old girl? What does that teach the 25-year-old girl?
Great question. That video about Courtney Michelle crying and passport bros asking questions is the part of my channel where I advocate for black men.
What does that mean to you, advocacy?
stepping up, speaking up on behalf of Black men, speaking up against the ill treatment.
What what advocation did we need from Courtney Michelle crying though? How was that valuable to us? How was that valuable to anybody? It definitely for damn sure wasn't valuable to that 20-year-old girl you claimed you was trying to reach. It wasn't even valuable. It was to us. It was just it was bullshit black female beef. That's what it was. It was this. See, I was in the military. When I was in the Navy, right? Many times you go into a shop and there's maybe one girl in it. It's one girl in it, right? And that one girl typically has become one of the boys in just months, right? She's holding her own. She's doing her shit. She's one of the boys, and everything is kosher. Everything is working perfectly. Insert one other girl, one other female, one other woman. It's like this shop isn't big enough for the two of us. They fucking won. They down each other's throats. Now, sometimes you get this where they turn into frickin' frack and they end up being running mates. But that's rare. What happens on most occasions is they see each other and they clash. The Manosphere is the same thing. You got Chantel Simone calling Courtney Michelle a chameleon, and she turns and do the same shit. It's like back in the day when 50 Cent was killing fucking Ja Rule for singing. And now this nigga singing. you see what I'm saying? It's like you can't, y'all not gonna 50 Cent Courtney Michelle. Y'all not gonna 50 Cent her. Y'all gonna put her out and then steal her whole shit. Because as soon as Ja Rule ass was up out of there, 50 was singing 21 Questions. The second he got his ass up out of there. And y'all are looking to y'all, the Manosphere ain't big enough for the two of you. And that's unfortunate. I mean, I also get it. Like, hey, it's content. People are going to watch it. They're going to be entertained. And it's one of those good things because, like I always say, most of society is not smart. Most society is not smart. So most society is going to gravitate to that low vibrational shit of two women into it. And, ooh, you heard what she said. It doesn't help us. You're not advocating for men. Remember that bitch shit I was talking about? This fits into that. Men don't need more bitch shit. We don't need more of this. We just don't, you know? At the end of the day, my granny told me when I was a little kid, and I came home and I threw my book bag against the goddamn wall and I said, I hate so-and-so. I don't know who it was. I think it was a fat girl. And she said, what does hate mean? What is hate to you? And to me as a little kid, hate was the opposite of love. You know, like love was a great feeling of, you know, compassion. And then hate had to be the opposite of that. She was like, no, the opposite of hate, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. To be indifferent to somebody is, it's actually free because I don't care whether you become a millionaire or you die tomorrow. The problem with what's going on is it doesn't help. It doesn't help. That's the bottom line, is that the beef doesn't help. Nobody wins when the family feuds. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, we all in the same fight. You all want the same things. What Chantel Simone is saying, don't you think that it would be better for these men who went abroad to just network with each other and build better new communities? I'm not smart enough to know whether that's it's capable of happening, or if that's something that the Passport Bros are even interested in doing. I don't even believe that's what they got going on. They just kind of like individually, singular themselves, doing their own thing. But if that's possible, hey, have at it. I'm certainly not trying to stop you from building strong black communities, however you attempt to do it. But I don't see why we need to be against each other. I don't see that. And that's why I apologize wholeheartedly. Like, I'm seriously, I apologize. I'm not sorry, but I do apologize for because it was wrong. I mean, when you look at it I'm a married man. I've been married for 16 years. So because of that, No, I'm not dealing, but I've seen very close and intimately with the dealings of the shit that goes on out there. So I understand. The sentiment of the modern man, I guess. But we got to do better. You know what? I'm not even gonna highlight no more of this shit either. You know, and so here's the thing. Here's the thing. We need each other. We need each other. Whether we want to believe that shit or not, we need each other. What we need more Courtney Michelle's. We need more Chantel Simone's. We need more Jessica X's speaking to women. Speaking to women, making sure that the message is encoded so that women can understand, so that women can learn, because they can't hear from us all the time. You know, man, we too logical, too much reason, don't make as much sense. But when you have women like Chantel Simone, the Jessica X's, the Courtney Michelle's, who can take what we say, they can understand it. They the ones that can sit in a room, they can sit in the barbershop, you know, and they can take what we say and then they can encode that message so that they sisters can understand, because they know how a woman needs to hear it. And so I'm not going to knock their work. I don't want to knock their work. And at the same time, they can't afford to knock the brother Alan Obi's work at all. What he's doing is very powerful. That conversation that started because of Cameron Samuels and is living through his ministry is very important. It's powerful. It's going to transform into something so much greater. It's in its early stages right now, but what we need to do is allow it the grace to get there, without trying to judge the man for not being perfect. None of us is perfect. Nobody is perfect. We gonna say fucked up shit. We gonna fuck up. But at the same time, we need that grace. We need grace. The same grace that people give Ye. That we need that same grace with everything that we trying to do. Like, it's one thing I learned in the military from my Filipino brothers. I was in supply. And I don't know how it ended up this way, but supply is like, it's all Filipinos and black people for the most part. And what I learned about the Filipinos is this one thing about them. They can hate one another, but they not going to stop them from advancing. They not going to tell on their brother. They not going to do nothing to screw them over. Not the ones that I used to work around. They go out of their mind. They probably punch you out in the birthing. But outside of that, they looked out for each other. Even at work, they not even gonna tell on each other. He hate his guts. He's not gonna snitch or nothing. He's gonna have his back. A lot of communities have that, but we don't. If we can just pull anything from anywhere, it would be the unity that we always. If we could just do that, like, I'm not saying be a monolith, because it's too many different versions of us for us all to be on the same team, but we need to understand that we should never be in opposition of each other, especially not the black man and the black woman. That's going the opposite way of where we need to talk wants to go with his stuff and with his message, and where I believe Chantel Simone wants to go with hers. So yeah, it's good for content, but we need to cut the shit the fuck out. Point blank, period. But I'm not going to keep rambling. If you've been here this long, the least you can do is like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I don't care about the comment, but you can hit the like button, give me an algorithm so I can have a reason to keep doing these. I'm staying up late doing these shits. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. Let me get my like. What the Poor Man's Podcast say, the HBO special. He don't need it no more. I need it. So Trey, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take your shit, but I'm going to need the HBO special from now on. I'm going to need you to help a brother out. Hit the like and subscribe button. Come on now. Y'all been here long enough, but that's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Just me, my lady, I don't need no guys. Just me, my lady, I don't need no guys. Ham Squad. Just me, my lady, I don't need no guys. Headed to the top, I don't need no ride. I'm so fly, how fly is he? I can stop now, let the beat just ride. Niggas like, might as well join them. Nothing we can do to defeat those guys. Us to the world like Bonnie and Clyde. She was there when niggas wouldn't loan me a dime. She was there when I was feeling lonely inside. Niggas not real cause it's all in disguise. I can feel the hate cause it's all in your vibe. Diamond in the rough, yeah, start on the rise. Big confidence, that's all on my stride. Money, 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 that's all on my mind. Yeah, See, it's just me and my old lady, born all in the 90s, but our soul came from the 80s. I know she'll get on your ass if you ever tried to play me. Got her back, she got my front, that's how it been round this bitch lately. Bro, nigga don't wanna hang with you. On gelato, I mix it with dankaroo. Baby twerking and grabbing her ankles too. Demon throat, but she's sweeter than angel food. Got me weak at the knee like an ankle boot. Kool-Aid back far from a lazy dude. Man his business and all about his paper too. Picture me taking off for a day or two. I heard black love was a beautiful thing. From a boy to a man, I became a king. Proceeding to conquer so many things with the love